So apparently Winback Covert Operations has an extra ending that no one's ever heard about. Different articles appear to claim that this third ending can be achieved by getting a good time by stage 23, then getting a slow time at stage 27. This game was time sensitive, meaning however fast you completed it determined what timeline you were going to get. This all started one day when I was searching through YouTube, and for some reason I got recommended the bad ending for Winback Covert Operations. I heard about the bad ending before, but I never got it because I was a fucking pro at Winback. I immediately noticed that in the comments everyone recalled some third ending, so I began research on the topic and decided first, it's assessed that the bad ending can be achieved by getting a really slow time and reaching a certain point in the game where they basically say, too late, we're blowing all this shit up. So let's build a code that gives you one of the highest times possible. The time mechanics operate on a single value, so instead of the seconds increasing till it hits a minute and then resetting to 0, it's actually the seconds reach 60, and then they just keep going until the time meter pulls its information in. Now that we have snail time, what's next? Well, I didn't feel like spending time actually playing this all the way through, so I said fuck it and made a code where I can clip through walls and just walked around the whole freaking level. After this, I was able to sample the code at the end of the level screen so I could just keep ending every level until we get to whichever level it is that houses the bad ending. Let me bop the buck real quick and say something. You're probably saying to yourself, why doesn't he just alter the value at the loading screen so he can go to the level where the bad ending starts? And oh, I have tried that. Half the time, I got this beta level that looked like something you'd see on the cutting room floor. And the other half was nightmare shit like this. Alright, let's get back on track. I got to this door and made a code to spawn me into a different level, and I make my way to level 23 and go to the end. The stage ended and my time of 92 hours was still up, but it wasn't until the beginning of the next level when I got to finally see it. The first strike scene with the White House. So now we know that the bad ending for sure exists in the Nintendo 64 version. I froze the time to 0 seconds and I tried the scene again. This time the scene just doesn't play if you're on time. Now let's go to the second scene when they attack the Pentagon. When I froze the time to 0 seconds, the second scene still played. This means no matter how you do in the second stretch, if you were slow enough to trigger the first scene, then the second scene will trigger regardless. This defeats many of the claims before that you had 2 chances at getting a different ending. As far as Nintendo 64 goes, this moment right here is the deciding factor on which ending you're gonna get. So it's one factor that means it can only go 2 ways. After trying it on the PS1 version, I got the same result. After going back through the YouTube comments, I noticed one commenter who said that the cover stated it had 3 different endings. The Nintendo 64 and the PS1 cover didn't say that. However, once I checked the cover of the PS2, sure enough, it said that there are 3 endings you can achieve in the game. Alright, let's boot up the old PC SX2 and get Winback running. Rinse and repeat the same steps from before, so I didn't trigger the cutscene from level 23, then increased my timer to max time and made my way to the next checkpoint, and voila! The second strike scene played, despite me skipping the first, so I continued to the next scenes of the game, but funny enough, the game still plays out like you're on track to the good ending. There's no way to tell that you're going to get the third ending. I started looking on the internet for some more answers, and everyone's account varies, with some saying all of your teammates surviving, and another saying John Luke flies away on a fucking pony and orders a Big Mac in the sky. Don't ask for citations. It wasn't until I got to the very last bit of the game that I realized what this third ending nonsense was all about. If you have the good ending, then Cecil survives getting shot in the face and comes out to attack you one last time after Dan's dead. But if you have the third ending, or really just the somewhat between good and bad ending, Cecil doesn't come out. He doesn't come back from the dead. Dan's the last person you fight at the end of the game. After killing Dan, it goes straight to the final cutscene. Now this sounds okay when you haven't gotten either the good or bad ending, but this really irks me because it's pretty much the good ending, but with the very last boss fight cut out of it, that being Cecil. The issue here is that most people playing Winback will only get the good ending or the bad ending, so the medium ending sounds like something completely mystical to them, like a secret ending you can only get by going fast for the first half and then playing like donkey dick for the second half. They clearly did this just so when you're walking through Walmart in 2002, you see the new PS2 version on shelves and you go, oh yeah, I already played that. But then you flip it around and you see that it has not only 2, but 3 endings. This time you go, huh, I think I'm about to stew! Third ending was nothing more than a last minute edit of the game's timeline to technically have an extra ending so that they could add that as an extra feature to make the game box look like it had a lot going for it. It's clear that the third ending thing was just a bust in the end, and I feel bad because I've spent a majority of my time that I allot for my channel on solving this would-be mystery. It turns out there is a third ending for Winback. It's just a fucking letdown. But maybe it wasn't about the ending. Maybe it was about the journey all along.